Hi, I'm Glenn Whipp with the Los Angeles Times. The Netflix series Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, huge hit this spring. Breakout star Tituss Burgess joining us today. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So I guess, even if people have not seen the show, if they're not a Netflix subscriber, they probably have seen a minute and 6 seconds of the show, haven't they?
I think so. It's kind of been everywhere. At least I hope so.
Yeah. And you're probably now, when you go out, I'm referring to the Pinot Noir video.
Okay.
Well, I'm telling the folks and kids are going, what the hell are they talking about? No. So are you able to now go out in a restaurant? You're probably just ordering Merlot the whole time, right?
Well, I'm usually ordering something that's not wine. I never want to presume anyone's seen the show.
Yeah.
But I did drink Pinot Noir, a lot. But I just think it's so awkward now. So I'll just order, a rosé.
Yeah, it'd be like you're going into a restaurant and it would be awkward.
It would be awkward.
Like,
yeah.
Look at me.
Right.
Don't you know who I am?
I hate that type of attention. No.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that's, if there was one drawback from the show, you're no longer able.
To drink Pinot Noir comfortably in public.
A small sacrifice.
It's a small. I had someone. They sent Pinot Noir over to the table last night, and I accepted graciously, and I drank it, and it was delicious. Whoever it was, thank you. But it is no longer.
So that's probably an occasional plus that somebody is sending that over.
Well,
right?
Of course, at home I'll chug it and just really get to really enjoy it the way that I want to enjoy it.
You got your box there. Right?
Yeah. Delicious cheap box wine. Actually, sometimes it's really good.
Now that the show's been on for, character's name is Titus.
That's correct.
So many things to ask you. First, you get a script from
Right.
Tina Fey,
Right.
Robert Carlock,
Mm-hmm.
who you worked with on 30 Rock.
Mm-hmm.
And you're opening it up. Oh, okay, cool. And you read the character name is Titus. You gotta be feeling pretty good that you've got the part. Right?
Oh no, I never assumed that. So many nearly almosts, but not quite maybes in this industry. So I didn't think that, but I certainly thought. My initial response was, "This is gotta be a joke." Gone are the days where people, unknowns, are having people write things for them that stars them. That happened a lot in the olden days in theater. Introducing so and so and so, introducing Stephanie Mills and The Wiz. But that wasn't the case, or hasn't been the case a lot with television. And so when I got it, I called my manager, and she was like, "Well, it's happening. It's a thing, and you have to audition."
Even though the character's named Titus.
Even though she wrote it with me in mind.
Right, and wrote it, yeah, exactly.
I had to jump through the hoops with the networks, of course. That's fine. I'm fine with that. If that's what it took to, I hadn't had a series regular up until then.
Mm-hmm.
So I would make me audition too, to make sure that I was able to execute and carry, a show. And I think having to audition made me dig into Titus Andromedon a little more in ways that I perhaps would not have had I just rested on my laurels that he was me, or an extension of me. There are very many differences between myself and...
I'm picking up on that. You seem a little bit more introverted or introspective.
I'm very much introverted. Yeah. I don't enjoy a lot of outside stimulation, or I don't care to be on display as much as Titus does.
But who does? Right?
Well, you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
I live in New York. So you just walk outside and the world is performing.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. But so I had to audition, and I got it. And I'm so grateful for that process, because I learned a lot of things about him that I didn't know. So the extra mile to get said job informed, it paid off, and it informed a lot more, and caused me to assist in making him more three-dimensional and not just a cartoon character like Dufwan. Dufwan was just a sort of a wink and a smile and just silliness, But there are real stakes in this one, and he really is thirsting for a career, and it's informing his choices, good or bad, or no matter how sensical or outrageous. It's informing the choices that he makes. So
Yeah.
it's been fun going down the rabbit hole with him.
Yeah, and I'm sure you can bring your early acting experience.
Oh yeah,
to that kind of
yeah.
Striving and sort of
Yeah, that's a story I'll never forget. And you're always striving. You're always auditioning. Even Tina, I hope she doesn't mind me saying this, was telling me about she auditioned for Into the Woods and how nervous she was, and I'm thinking they didn't just give it to you. I mean, you're Tina Fey, so you're always after something, aren't we?
Right. So Titus, your mom named you Titus.
My mom named me
Titus
Titus with 2 S's. I don't know why she added an S, because in the Bible it's with 1 S, but she got it from the Bible. Titus was an apprentice to Paul.
That's right.
And I think he took him to Crete and left him there and to spread Christianity. And he became something of a preacher there, I believe.
Yeah. Titus on the show, 1 S. So
Titus on the show, 1 S. I think that is the Shakespearean aspect to it, sort of borrowing from Titus Andromedon. And of course, Titus, not doing his research fully, just gave him the last name Andromedon because that's how he heard it, without checking out the facts, which is so telling of how he's been living his life and lives by it and is proud of it. And it's just it's funny. It makes me laugh.
Yeah. Now, we mentioned, you're a little bit more introverted than than Titus. Your wardrobe, I would say, Titus.
I would wear the same thing every day if I could. I just don't care.
You're Einstein.
Yeah.
Don't want to think about it.
Oh no, don't. That's too much work. There are more important things for me to think about. I have to remind myself to iron, just because I would rather just wear a t-shirt and shorts and be done with it. But Titus, with 1 S, puts a great deal of thought into his bizarre creations and pulls them off some kind of way.
He'd be wearing like a camo sport coat right now.
Oh, he'd probably have a turban on, very Norma Desmond.
Yeah.
Eyes will probably be done, just maybe a light lipstick. I don't know what he's going through on a daily basis, but you know what? He is so brave, that man. Or is it brave? He is so what's the word? He's so confident and so unapologetically himself that I actually kind of look up to him a little bit. There's not a second thought. He doesn't second guess anything, even if it's not thought out. He doesn't second guess it. So that type of courage, that's pretty badass.
Yeah. So that's something in the character that you can maybe aspire to.
Yeah. I mean, I certainly I am well aware of my own bag of tricks, and I'm also very aware of the things that of my weaknesses. I don't do a lot of second guessing myself, but I think everything through before I do it. Everything. So we share that, but in terms of just the 0 to 100 without a second thought, I'm like, that's all right, buddy. You must know something I don't know. Yeah.
So with the name, with you sharing the character's name, when you go out in public, that's got to be a little weird. Somebody's yelling Titus.
Yeah, that's a little strange.
You don't know. They could be a friend of yours,
or they could be a friend. I've experienced a lot of that, and I have to search their eyes to make sure that I'm not being rude to someone that I've had some in-depth conversation with, or someone that I've worked with. In theater, we work with so many people, and you meet so many people all the time. Thousands of people see the show every night. So I have to check myself, and make sure I'm not being rude to someone. But most of the time, like by sentence 2, I know,
Right.
where in
Right.
history this relationship lies.
Yeah. I was looking at your Twitter account last night. There was an award show, Critics' Choice Television Awards. You tweeted, "I don't get nervous, but this is such a new thing."
Yeah.
That whole red carpet thing. Is that like
Yeah,
a freak out?
the red carpet thing was not what was nerve-wracking, but the gravity of those type experiences and that type of pointed recognition where your peers are suddenly eliminated and it's down to a couple of you that this group of people think are worthy of a special type of attention. And I don't like to really talk about awards and things like that, just because I'm having such a wonderful time in this new world and have been welcomed in a way that I have not even experienced in theater. And it has been so full of love and very overwhelming, not in the way that I can't process it, but just on every turn there is some display of affection for my work. At this point in my career, that when I got there and I saw all these stars and people, I watch a lot of television. I love TV, and I'm very picky about what I watch, and literally just over here was Freddie Highmore from Bates Motel, and I just think he's such a delicious actor. And there was Queen Latifah, who interrupted my compliment of her in her performance as Bessie in Bessie Smith Story, which was she knocked it out of the park, to tell me what a light I was in the world and how thankful she is that I'm doing what I'm doing. My point is, it was dizzying, And,
I saw a great picture of you and Jonathan Banks from Better Call Saul.
Which is another show that I just think is so genius, and so it's literally like all my, all the actors or characters that I've looked up to for so long jumped out of the TV and decided to have a drink with me. And so it takes a little adjusting, but it's terribly fun to be in that company, But I still don't look at myself the way my supporters and fans do. So when I walk out of my apartment, I am me, and it isn't until someone comes up to me, and in New York, strangers come up to you all the time asking for directions and this and that and the other. So it's not my first thought that you're a fan of the show.
Right.
So when it happens, I'm like, oh yeah, because of the model of Netflix where you can watch all the shows at once, and it's not stretched out over, 4 to 6 months, where the presence of the show is in the media for so long. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
just all of a sudden,
it's all of a sudden it's there.
And then did you notice anything? I mean, it was like March, right? Did you start to notice
the same day?
The same day.
The same day.
Literally the same day.
Literally the same day. On my front doorstep, 2 young gentlemen sitting on my stoop, which I hate. But sitting on my stoop, and I was on my way to get some paper towel from the local 99-cent store, minding my own business in my wrinkled everything.
Because you don't like to
Because I don't like to iron. And just, it's celebrating, yay, this happened, but like also I have to clean my apartment. So I got to go get some paper towel. So I scoot past him and ask him, would you mind not sitting on the stoop, please? And plus there's a very long avenue and some really fancy brownstones, and mine is, wearing and tearing, and the concrete's chipping off. So I don't know what is so desirable about that particular step that they were sitting on, but they were really enjoying it. So that was perplexing. But the larger thought was, can you guys move? So as I moved through them, and really I think that it was like the most inconvenient thing, and I was just twisting and turning, and so I'm going down the street, and I hear the one guy go, "Oh my God, that's that guy from that Kimmy Unbreakable show or whatever." And he got the name completely wrong. And but two things. So the first thought was, "Oh my God, they just saw it, and it's a thing in the world." Yeah.
Mhm.
And the other thing was, I hope when I return home with my paper towel that they're not there. That's the truth. So, but my point is, it happened all of a sudden. So it's taking a little bit to integrate it, but it's lovely. And, people yell Titus Andromedon and Pinot Noir and all these things at the top of their lungs. And it's taken on a whole nother life of its own. And it's fun to have this connective tissue, this relationship with people that I don't know, based on something that we both have great affection for, coming from opposite directions. It's so beautiful. I love it so much.
Was the Pinot Noir video, did that go viral almost immediately too?
Yes,
I'm trying to remember.
Know.
It seemed like a week or two after the show dropped.
Well, yeah, because I guess it took people a second to get it, because that was like episode 5 or 6 or whatever. But my thing is, I of all the things that we shot,
that was like the least expected thing, right?
The least, and I still don't understand what is so yummy about it that people love so much. I'm glad they like it, but I there were other scenes that I thought people would that would catch on and have the same life trajectory that the Pinot Noir video has had. But I've accepted it and I love it, and it'll follow me all of my days, and I will happily let it tag along.
Like when you were making it, even you're going.
When I was making it, I thought we are getting off course, and oh God, are we in trouble? And they were literally throwing out random words for me to say, and I was like, Jeff Richmond, who is the music writer for the show, Tina Fey's husband, and also is a fantastic director. I think he directed episode 10, I believe. I feel like he's really brilliant. But anyways,
he's throwing out words.
Thank you. And I'm like, well, what's the melody? He's like, just go sing. Just go make something up. And I just came out of nowhere, and I decided to match a more heightened weirdness that Titus Andromedon can produce with the disjointedness of how this song was coming about, because to try and bring order to it would disrupt the entire creation, this accidental creation that was having. So there you have it.
And you went to like 19 different locations for that.
Yeah,
right?
it was we were all over the place, and I think I've worn everything that anybody's ever created ever.
And you've rhymed every word with noir that was possible.
Yeah,
right?
I think they exhausted every single. I think they maybe even created words that ended noir that were not in the dictionary.
I think when they got to Jamie Farr, I said, okay, that's it. There's
nothing else we can
run
say.
out. I mean, nothing against Jamie Farr.
No, I understand.
MASH was ended 30 years ago.
Right.
That's a good one.
TV star.
That's a good one. So what would you have chosen? I mean, what was your favorite moment or two from season 1?
Well, it had nothing to do with me singing.
Yeah.
One of my favorite scenes was, I believe, this also might have been episode 10 now, or 11. It's where Titus learns that Kimmy's trial, Kimmy's, of course, played by the brilliant Ellie Kemper, who is a dream to work with.
Yeah.
Just a dream. But Titus finds out the trial isn't going to be on TV, so he has to go to the library because they don't have internet, because Titus has no money. So he's trying to offer up something supportive to say, and but the truth keeps coming out, and he's I forget the line, but I think he says something like, "I'm gonna go to the library to watch it so I can watch the trial without ads," or whatever. And he keeps repeating it, and that was just such a funny thing to play. And there's so many moments. I do love the moment in the pilot where we're in Times Square and we're both singing "Circle of Life" and like no one's paying attention to us. And even when people see cameras or whatever, they stop and stare in New York, particularly. Maybe not so much out here. And no one cared. And I just thought, this is so classic New York, and I just love her for it. I love her for her honesty, because everyone has something to do there, and I just thought it was so funny. So
Yeah.
that was really fun.
I mean, your own theater background. I mean, you're so good at playing Titus on the show.
Thank you.
But you have like a great resume.
Yeah, I've had some wonderful opportunities in theater that came rather quickly when I got to New York. And I think the last show that I did was in 2009. And after that closed is about the time I started doing more television work. But I'll go back to theater at some point. I'm working on something now that I hope sees the light of day, that I won't be in, that I'm writing. But that's a little further down the road. I'll come back and give you details.
Well, you said that it's...
Don't say it, because don't say it.
Well, I will say...
I jumped the gun, so yeah.
You did jump the gun because the particular actress...
Right.
Her filmography is very small.
Right. Well,
so by the process of elimination, you eliminated one of them.
I eliminated one of them. So there's still
there's like two others.
No, there's a couple of there's a couple of more.
Yeah.
But I have great affection for this actress, so I and singer. So I hope to bring this to stage.
If you want to know more through the magic of Google,
it's already out in the world, right? You could, I'm sure you could.
But that you've been working on that.
Yes, I have been working on it. And Rick Ellis is who wrote Jersey Boys and Peter and the Starcatcher is brilliant. He's writing the book, and I've already written about 60% of the score, and found out some more information today. So, soon I'll have something to say to the world in the way of some facts.
And soon you'll be starting season 2 of Kimmy,
Season 2 in August.
Okay.
I'll start.
And that's probably going to drop the same time next year.
March 2016, I was told. Seems so far away.
Have they given you any hints about where they're going to take Titus for season 2?
No, they didn't, and I don't want to know. Yeah. I really don't. I didn't know anything about it other than the pilot, and then we had to reshoot the pilot. I didn't know about it, anything about it then, and I think if I have too much time to think about what's going to happen, my reactions won't be as sincere, and oftentimes we wouldn't find out what the next episode was going to be up until like the day before we were going to begin shooting it. Yeah. And there's something truth luring out of me that comes with that type of urgency of finding out last minute, so I prefer it that way.
So surprises are good. Just don't sit on you don't want, just not the surprise of sitting on your steps there in your apartment.
Don't do that.
Yeah. Other than that,
okay, we're good.
All right. Yeah. Well, thank you for stopping by today.
Thank you for having me.
Great talking to you.
Absolutely.
All right. And for more of these conversations, please go to latimes.com, click on television, you'll find a bunch. Thanks for watching.